So with us on the show right now is Jumoke Adeyemi. She's a global conference speaker, an author, a seasoned minister, and an executive vice president of the Global Harvest International Churches. She's passionate about discovering potentials and talents in people while also challenging them to bring out the best in them. I should actually call you Pastor Adeyemi because you've been pastoring for 30 years. Welcome with us, Pastor Adeyemi, in the building. Good to have you on the show. So once in a while, we bring in women who are doing great things in Nigeria just to showcase them on the show, because it's important for us to celebrate women and not just look at just women that we know, but there are other women who are doing such important things and are impacting lives. Tell us a bit about yourself, your background, how you got into the ministry, and the kind of NGOs you're doing and what you're trying to hope to achieve.
Well, okay, so, you know my name, Jumoke Adeyemi is my name. I've been in ministry for 30 years, over 30 years, and I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother.
Oh, wow, you don't look like a grandma.
And I'm married to Reverend Victor Adeyemi. We pastor Global Harvest Church, but beyond that also, I run some business and also run an initiative, which is an NGO. So basically, an initiative that is to reach out to the poor, to give hope in this VUCA times, because things are volatile, they're unpredictable, they're complex, ambiguous. It's people are holding on by the thread in some instances, and sometimes when you meet people, it reminds you that you're also a human being, and that, you know, it's not about privilege or anything. You're just a person or a woman who has been helped by God. So it pushes your heart to help somebody else, because you just never know. You know, because we place value on life, you never know who you're going to touch, because it may just be the president of this nation. It may be the person that is going to discover the cure to AIDS or cancer or something that looks like they're in rags right now.
Direct this conversation, because before you came, at some point, we're talking about the prices of food. People are managing. In fact, I can't even say managing. People are just holding on by the thread, as you said. As somebody who is a leader and you see, how do you help? How do you identify? How do you know families to support? Do they come to you? Do you open channels, or you just go out to the streets? So how do you reach out to these people?
Okay, so first of all, I'm passionate about the poor. I'm passionate about people who need hope. And so that drives what it is that we do. We look for a community where there's help, where there's need, where there's a need. So say, for instance, the last time we had an outreach, it was under the bridge. I never for the life of me knew that there was a community there. And in that whole, it's called Wasemi. I'm sure some of you would know where that is. In that whole community, there's just one toilet and one bathroom with hundreds of people.
Wow.
And so we went there to reach out to them, medical aids. We gave back to school to children, because we came to realize that there are children. I've encountered children extremely intelligent. Nigerian children are intelligent, extremely intelligent, but they can't go back to school because their mom is unable to send them. So we go out to support them. Right now, we're supporting some students in primary school in Makoko, and we're paying their school fees for the year. So it's full sponsorship for the children. There are 10 of them. Now, the 10 that we sponsored last year, 2 of them have graduated into secondary school, and we're not going to leave them alone. So we've taken those as well. And then
let me get a few more people to answer your questions.
Okay.
So whenever we talk to pastors' wives, the conversation tends to be around philanthropy, you know, and I feel that there's a whole lot more that we don't talk about.
Right.
And there's a whole lot of body of knowledge that people don't hear about. They only hear about the spiritual and the giving and the empowerment, but you do business, you know, and I want you to give us insight to your business, the business part of what you do. What were the challenges being a pastor's wife and trying to run a business, and people now thinking she shouldn't be doing it or should she be doing it? Give us that story, because I'm sure somebody is a pastor's wife and is trying to find
our feet as well. So when I started the business, it was a boutique. I'm passionate about decent dressing. I like class. I like simplicity. I like you looking good. Right. And I like people being spiritual, but also looking good.
Yeah.
So that drove my passion to it. However, we wanted to start it also to support our own family. And so it was something that was needful at the time. Yeah. And in this kind of instance, you must understand that, like in the scriptures, there's something about the virtuous woman in Proverbs 31. And that woman, even though she's a believer or somebody who seeks God, she is into entrepreneurship. Basically, she owns land. She's into clothing. She runs different types of businesses. She even imports things, to sell. Yet she keeps a good home. And so I want to say to women, like you were talking about your dream the other time, your dream versus your family life. The truth of the matter is, every person, regardless of whether you're a woman or a man, everybody has a dream. Before you became Mrs. Somebody, you were somebody.
Right.
So what are you going to do about that dream? A lot of times people bury their dreams in view of family. There's a way you can manage the two. You can be good in business and good in the home front. And that takes a lot of wisdom and a lot of planning.
Because of time, I have to throw in so many questions in for you because I want to get a lot of meat from you.
Right.
Nima, let me let you jump in here.
Because this is Women We Love, let me talk about your educational background. I found out that you mastered in psychology.
Personal psychology.
Personal psychology, and you're a pastor.
Right.
So how do you marry this? Do you still practice as a psychologist, or does it just enhance your work as a pastor?
Exactly, it enhances my work as a pastor, and it was very, very useful in administration because for about 20 years I handled administration in the church, and you need to understand how to work with people, whether they're staff or they're members. Any which way, you must understand how to work with people. That emotional intelligence is you're learning as you're working with them. And, in personnel psychology, you learn a lot about people, how to manage people, how to work with people. There are different kinds of people that you meet, whether you're working in the secular or you're working in business or ministry, whatever way. Life is all about people.
Right.
So knowing how to relate with people, knowing how to manage people, knowing how to bring the best out of people so that it can be productive for the organization, and most especially bring out the potentials in them, which is very critical, because most times organizations want the best out of people without giving anything back. Okay. There's got to be something. Something's got to give. Right. So every organization, every organization that is interested in people, in their personnel, their welfare, their paycheck, their family, thinking about all that, puts together, it all comes together in personnel psychology, because you want to understand what they are thinking. That way it motivates the organization to know how to take care of these people.
I'll pause you for a second. Once I enter marriage, because marriage is such a critical part when it comes to women. Church people and marriage. It's always so difficult because many of us try to stick to the Bible.
Right.
But the definition of a good home is ever changing because you are constantly dealing with men who are not being groomed for this institution. And we women are there, we're so perfect wives, but we also have things to do. So as a pastor's wife, and I'll let YK jump in here to add our own question, how are the church women, many of them are not happy. I won't say many of them, just say some of them, so I'm not saying I'm generalizing. Many church wives or Christian wives are not happy. And it's because they're not fulfilled, not just as regards business, marriage. That marriage is not fulfilling for them. But they're just managing because they are good women. And they have to endure it because that's what, they have to stay. So how do we help those kind of women to find fulfillment? Especially when the men are not listening, they're not interested.
The truth of the matter is, we have to help the men. Many times, all of us are women. We grew up your mom will teach you, oh, this is how to take care of a hot man. This is what to do with in-laws. This is what not to do with in-laws. They'll teach you how to bathe. Everybody has a dolly. So the girl child is over-schooled. But nobody is talking to the men. It's not as if nobody, but most men don't have the tutelage, the kind of tutelage at par that women do have. And so that's a starting point, because this question is a very huge burden for me. But for the women who are suffering and groaning under this kind of situation, because what you said is so true, in church and even transcends church, because I've counseled with people, women in church, I've counseled with women outside of church. It's a general thing. It's almost universal that people get into marriage, and there's a lot going on. First of all, but let me categorize it into a few places. One, before people get married, there's a need for counseling, proper counseling, church counseling, and now I would dare say, go for professional counseling, particularly if people are coming from two different backgrounds.
Thank you.
Because many times, they're not coming from the same kind of backgrounds. And a marriage is not just happy because, oh, two happy merry-go people just got married and I love you. Listen,
Powerful.
love is blind, but marriage will open your eyes. Because you get to know that person for who they are. When the light goes out, when everybody has carried their gilly from the Owambe and they are gone home, and everything, you would get to know that person, how they snore, how they, whatever it is that they do, you get to live, the whole package, you get to live with them. And so these are the issues. What do these women do? First, I would say, believe in yourself first. And I say that with caution, because a lot of the times, our maternal instinct allows us to throw ourselves away to take care of husband, children, society, in-law, everybody but us. Who's looking out for you?
Let me pause you there, because I want to let YK throw in a question before we wrap up. Go ahead, YK.
No, I was just, you made a statement. You said nobody is advising the men. And you have this hers that you founded that's for women again. Yes. Do you think you should start something for men to start to take care of the men? Because there's obviously a vacuum where the men are concerned.
Yes, I actually started something. You always start from where you are, with what you have. So what we did was to start a meeting for men in church. I mean, I ran a meeting with the men in our church for 1 month.
Did they show up?
They did. Oh, every Sunday. Because the truth of the matter is, let me say this, men too want a good home.
But they don't know how.
But they don't know how. So we also have to understand that a lot of men are innocently, honestly, yes.
Goofy.
They're not wicked.
That's how my daddy did it.
They're not bad men. They are not bad at heart. My father made his own mistake. But looking back, now I can tell where he erred. I can appreciate his struggles. But as a child, I didn't understand. So many of these men are innocently...
But they are proud about it. They won't tell you. Go and learn. There are plenty of coaches out there. They don't want to learn.
Yes.
No, but she said innocent.
You see,
They don't know better.
So if you're innocent, you don't know that you're
yes.
doing the right
you,
thing.
you see, a person can be arrogant and not even know they are. So when a man marries a woman and feels like she's a property and stuff like this, and he treats her any kind of way, he got mentorship from his dad. Not that the daddy sat him down or his uncle to say, this is how you do it.
The examples.
He sees how she treats. He treated
He
his
sees
mom.
the example.
He sees the environment. We all learn from your environment, from the people around you, from your experience in life, from the environment in life. All of us are a microcosm of different aspects of life that has shaped us into who we are. And so that man has been shaped from somewhere. Somebody probably went on duty, asleep on duty. So these are all the challenges. And so we started that meeting. Men came every Sunday. We were there. Some Sundays, we were there for 3 hours. Wow. Because they were curious as well. They would ask questions. Some
So
of them
you got
are
good men in
confused,
your
so
church
yes.
then, hopefully, that they've been trained.
No, but,
Yeah, they're married men, Abi? They're married men, okay. But the
Well,
single
no,
ones
we
are-
allowed singles in,
Oh, good.
so they can start learning.
So there's some trained men in the global church. Global
Yes.
something.
Global Harvest
yeah,
Church.
So some good trained men there, so you
Yeah.
can go there for a husband.
Is there
That's all we can take.
do,
But thank
we
you so
do.
much, madam, for joining me. It was a pleasure having you to learn because you're right. We need lots of coaching and grooming for our men. Many of them are not prepared for this industry called marriage.